Welcome to the Referrals Podcast, the show designed to help everyone from the solopreneur to the Fortune 500 company win the referral game. If you want to build a company with an army of ambassadors and raving fans who speak highly of you and refer you willingly, you are in the right place. And now, here is your host, Michael J. Maher.
Welcome back to another amazing episode of Referrals Podcast. People, I believe this is episode 250. 250? Man, there are a lot of real estate trainers out there who are losing bets right now. We're about to literally do episode 250. What is that, like 5 years? 250 episodes. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. For those of you that have been here since the beginning and have listened to 250 of these episodes, I wish I could give you like a trophy or an award or a reward or something. But hopefully you've gotten the reward from Referrals Podcast, and that is in the form of referrals and in the form of fun prospecting. What a concept. You mean you can prospect and have fun? I'm in. Let's go. Build your business on love, generosity, and appreciation, and every day can be fun. I'm telling you, I love it. You'll love it. And thank you for tuning in. Quick, I have to let you know, RMS22.com Referral Mastery Summit is live this year in Orlando, September 27th, 28th, and 29th. That's a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, which allows you to have Friday, Saturday, Sunday to go explore Disney with your family. We have a rate at the B Hotel. They're probably going to get mad at me for publicizing this, but the Generosity Generation and Referco have negotiated a rate of $129 a night. We did that during the COVID time, knowing we were going to go there. $129 a night, and the resort fee, instead of being like $35 a night, $10 a day for a resort fee, which includes the fitness center. It includes all kinds of goodies. And you're going to want to bring your family to the B Resort and Spa, September 27th, 28th, and 29th. Notice that is right before the fourth quarter. Our whole theme is back to the future, but what we really want to do is set you up for the best fourth quarter of your career and the next year being the best year ever for you. So that's what we're doing. Referral Mastery Summit, RMS22.com. I couldn't make the URL any shorter or easy to refer and remember. It's RMS22.com. Go check it out. So speaking of that, we have one of our speakers from RMS22 and one of our Referrals Podcast favorites. It's Mr. Pauly Domenech, and Pauly is at 30A in Florida. That's all you need to know, dude. This guy is the guy to go to at 30A in Florida. If you're not familiar with 30A, just know it is resort heaven. It is vacation heaven. White sand beaches, beautiful homes, beautiful people like Pauly, right? And it's just one of those places that I'm telling you, it's one of our favorite places to go. We live in Atlanta, and I can tell you there's about 15 million other people who love to go to 30A from Atlanta. So check it out when you get a sec, but I have to, without further ado, welcome to Referrals Podcast, Pauly Domenech.
Well, thank you very much, Michael. Thank you for having me.
I didn't even talk about like the millions upon millions of business that you do and the hundreds of transactions you do every year and so on and so forth. And, I think it's one of those where you are making it happen. And I think the biggest thing I want to do with this conversation is, realtors especially, but honestly, all business owners have gone from Easy Street to like Nightmare on Elm Street. And what I'd like to do is what are the changes that you've made or are making when it comes to, the current marketplace? Because we're facing a challenge, and you can't spell the word challenge without the word change. You're going to have to change to conquer a challenge. That's the beauty of a challenge. It makes you level up. So I think one of the things I'd love to just start with is, all right, how is the Domenech Group making changes for the changes in the real estate market?
Yeah. So, back to basics. What were we doing when we didn't have the business before? So when change happens, it makes us feel like our business isn't working anymore. But there are basics to us getting business. what are we doing to get back to the basics? And that is talking to our people. Because even with the situation going on with interest rates and all of that, yeah, there might be a moment where it slows down, but let's look at the fact. The fact is people cannot be homeless. So I ask myself, what is it that people are fearing? I come up with a value on how to help that pain, relieve that pain, and create a solution. And then I target my message to my people, not to the world. I don't worry about how many Facebook likes I get on my posts or
You liar. I know when you post something and you get 0 likes, it is at least several weeks of depression for you. I know you feel that way, right? So I know you don't care. That's what I love about all that is you post it and let it happen, right? 0 likes or 5,000 shares, right? I love it.
Because you have value.
Yeah. So back to basics. I'm telling you, I mean, it's so funny is people think they have to change by reinventing the wheel or they got to totally change their marketing or they got to go buy leads or they panic, right? And they don't know what to do. And yet we have these things that work in every market. And I mean, every city market, but also every type of real estate market. There are these things and talking to people, conversations is the key. It's always been the key. The more people you talk to, the better people you talk to, and the better conversations you have, the more business you will do. And so I love how you broke down things may be slowing down and there may be some fear out there, but by listening to your people, the only way to do that is to have the call or talk to them. You got to talk to the people to listen to them, right? And then what do I need to do to relieve the pain? You're like the human aspirin, right? You're going to help relieve the pain. And then it's like, all right, what is the solution? And I said back in 2009, I have to tell you, I was at a Howard Brinton mastermind of the stars of stars, the top producers in the world. And everybody was moaning and whining. 2009, tough butt market, right? Worst market maybe in most markets in the history of their markets. And he goes, is anybody up in their market? Is anybody doing more business this year? And like, I'm looking and I like, we're up. And he goes, all right, everybody shut up. Michael Maher, come to the room and tell us what you're doing. And I'm telling you, my whole presentation for 7-8 minutes was communicate your solutions to your community. Communicate your solutions to your community. I mean, solutions-based is the answer, right? So can you go into what you're saying to your people right now? Is it an answer or is it a question that you're asking? What is your conversation right now and how has it changed from maybe January of this year?
Right. So right now, the conversation is always, is it a seller's market? Is it a buyer's market? That's the conversation that's constantly happening. People thinking, do I want to wait? Do I not want to wait? Should I buy now? Is it the wrong time? Right. So, well, what's the need? Do you have to have a place to live? If you need a place to live, well, then we need to get creative with what we're doing for lending. Are we going to do a 5-year ARM and then refinance it? Well, we have programs right now that can actually help you with your closing costs. So you don't need to worry about now having that cash. On the selling side, is it a good time to sell with the interest rates high? Well, let's talk about what just happened. We just went through a cycle where a lot of people made a lot of money, and those people need houses. So if your house, they can't afford a $400,000 mortgage at 7%, well, then they'll just put the $100,000 down that they bought and pay a 7% on a $300,000 mortgage. So right now is a perfect time to be selling. Right now is a perfect time to not think that we have to lower prices. because there are people that need homes. Now, we might not have as many buyers, but all we need is two to create a feeding frenzy.
I'm telling you, you hit it on the head. And it's funny that you use Feeding Frenzy as your logo. I know as a shark, right? And which is perfect for 30A and the Destin area and that kind of thing, the beach market, right? And it's one of those, what if a shark could help you, right? It's like you're the helpful shark guy. So it's one of those where I love what you said about, yeah, you may not have 43 people, buyers that are coming in and making offers on your home. But it only needs two to create that auction effect, to create that feeding frenzy of sorts. And a good agent knows how to do that. They know how to do it so that everybody is honored and respected. The agents, the clients, everything. It's just like, hey, letting people know about other people and just communicating. Isn't it funny that the hub of the wheel is communication on that again? And you are now getting 2 or 3 offers where it was 47 before. It's still ending up at asking price or above asking price. Some of the offers now are actually a little bit below asking price, but it only takes one more to bring to the party to get that back up. So I love that. And your marketing definitely delivers more people to the party. So I think that's a conversation. What about past clients? What about your database? What are you talking to them about, and what are you saying to them because of the changing market?
Yeah, so I go with there's solutions. There's never a problem here. We just have to look at what your needs are and how do we make it fit. If right now you don't have the means of paying high interest, well, where are you going to live? Because rent is going to be high as well. So we do all of that. We lay it all out to look at what is the ultimate goal. And then we flow from there and we find solutions. There is always a solution. Right now, what's creating fear is that people want it to be the same. And because it's not the same, that means it's going to get hard. It's going to get difficult. But nothing remains the same that grows. You've got to have dirt on top of a seed for it to grow. So we have to remain savage in what the market is in our communication and find those solutions for our customers. And when we do, we are just going to grow so much because we have the answers in this market when everybody else is talking about the fear.
I love that. And I think the other thing too that we were talking about a little bit before is a couple things. One is most real estate agents, lenders, professionals in the real estate world, when the market gets tougher, they tend to get quieter. They tend to retreat and kind of like, I don't want. And you, instead of retreating, you are on the attack. Like you said, stay savage, right? You are actually making more calls to the database. You are doing more things for the database. You're doing more things for the community in there. And you got Labor Days, right? I love how many Labor Days have you had the opportunity to do?
Oh, I mean, now we're doing it's got to be at least 500 Labor Days.
How many this year do you think? How many this year? Because you've been super busy. You're on the pace to double your business again, right?
This year we've done at least 100. I mean, and we're not even doing them every week. We are now created our uniform so that it looks professional.
Yep.
But yet we can operate in any condition. We're not in we wear suits on days where we are going to do presentations, but we are professionally looking with our uniforms so that if we get a call and we've got to mow lawn or we've got to we're ready to go.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. First of all, you got to be the only agent wearing a suit in 30A. First of all, which is instantly going to stand out and totally fits you to a T. But here's what I love is it totally shows the contrast of you in shorts and a t-shirt I'm going to have you explain your Labor Day in a little bit, right? Most people are thinking Labor Day, September, right? It's one day. Or they might be thinking about KW's Red Day, which is one time a year for Mo Anderson's birthday. God bless Mo Anderson. I love her. She's a huge difference maker for that whole Keller Williams organization. And she deserves a Red Day because it's right up her alley. But it's one day a year. You've done 100 Red Days this year already with your Labor Day philosophy. And I just, first is I love the contrast. You're wearing suits and boom, you're over here dirty with a black t-shirt that's got to get dirty as soon as you walk into a place. And you got your shorts and people get the opportunity to see both of you, which is really relatable. If you just wore suits all the time, there would be some it's just not as relatable to. But they see you at both ends. It's like, oh, you know what? Pauly's a good guy, right? And not just Pauly's a super professional guy, right? So tell us, what is a Labor Day? What do you do on Labor Day? And who do you do Labor Days for?
Okay, so on Labor Day, what we do is we help our customers that don't have the means of maybe paying to get their front lawn mulched and ready for the market. So we do things like that. We also do painting. We pressure wash. Pressure washing is something that we do at least once a week, where we'll go around to our properties and do the pressure washing that's needed right before we list. But we help in any kind of way possible, even moving stuff out, decluttering. Hey, if you need help with getting the stuff out of the shed, we can help you out with all of that stuff. And we do those specifically on Thursdays. But of course, with the market and growing as we are in our group, it does roll into, we've got to be prepared to do what we've got to do, because people want to take action, and taking action and making sure that we are taking the opportunity in the lifetime of opportunity seriously. Right? So the sooner that you can get it on the market and the sooner that you can get it sold, that's the business. I had a lot of people, I've seen a lot of people, and even in my mind, it's that you're busy, but you're not productive. You have a lot of listings and it makes you feel good. And then when you sell all your listings and you got 0 listings, then you feel like, oh my goodness, I'm not doing my business. Well, my goal with my team is we should always have 0 listings. I want 0 listings. We get it out. We have to be at 0 every single month.
I love that.
Or else it's just sitting there because it's comfortable.
Yeah, and it's a sense of urgency. I mean, nobody wants to sell slow. Right. And then, of course, they complain when they sell fast, which is like, what? Would you rather me take 60 days to sell your home, or are you okay with 6 hours? I'm just throwing it out there. Right. It's like, I can put it back on. Right. It's like, we can take these offers that are over asking and just not worry about it. But I will tell you, the first offer is typically your best offer. But here's the thing is, what an instant differential. Here's what I love about this. Anybody could do this. Anybody could do a Labor Day in their marketplace. And you're like, somebody might be, well, I'm a diminutive female. Like, I'm a petite female. I could not move stuff. You have friends who can move stuff. You know people who could move stuff. You could help stage a home. You could help with the staging items. And it's one of those where, what?
Cleaning.
Yeah, clean.
I have my mother in the business now. She's helping me clean. You know what?
Mother Domenech in the business. I love it.
Retired, right? She's looking to, make a little bit of money off of her son, and I'm going, well, you're going to work for it. How be clean, and I don't charge customers. My mother's involved. She cares. The thing is that it's not about the action in itself. It's not about doing that. It's showing that you care, that you have compassion, that you're putting some skin in the game. That's what it's about. It's not about paying somebody to do it.
Yeah.
It helps keep you accountable also to the understanding that house is out there. If you're not paying attention to it, or driving by it, or rolling a duster through it, or running a vacuum once a week, it's going to get dirty again. And when you've been in there and you clean it, you tend to take care of your property.
Oh my God, dude, that's a nugget. That's a nugget. You take ownership of selling the home when you have worked in the home. You're a part of this project, right? Instead of, disconnecting yourself from the client and the home, which a lot of realtors do once they get the listing, because like, oh, I got them locked up. They can't go away, right? Well, they can go away, and they will go away. And here's the thing. I love that thought of take ownership, and it shows you care. I mean, here's the thing. If anybody, we're riffing about a bunch of different stuff, but this Labor Day initiative, if it was only once a month and you did something around your listings, and that was it, even if you had 2 or 3 listings and you just went and swept the sidewalk, or you, cleaned, right? Then this would instantly differentiate yourself from everybody else in the market. It shows you care. It shows you're willing to work. It shows skin in the game. It shows that you're taking ownership and you care about. Plus, it forced you to go out and visit the home every 30 days. That's a nugget. I love that. And the other part of this too is some of your clientele is second home market. So, they're not even around. But if I know the realtor is going out there on a weekly basis to check it out, then you know what? That's a huge selling point for you when you do the listing presentation is, listen, we have these Labor Days we do every week. Your home's going to be checked on every week. You're not just a bunch of inventory to us. We care. We're going to take care of the home. We love 30A. We love your home. Drop the mic stuff right there. I will tell you did mention the ARM, right? Which is like in 09, 10, 11, it kind of got a bad rap, and it probably deservedly so. But you know what? An ARM is a really good strategy right now. You're going to get a lower initial rate. It looks like, well, bottom line, the interest rates will probably go down eventually. So you could refi out of an ARM, right? If you had to. It gets people, what it does is it gives them the same purchasing power now that they did before the rates went down, right? So if there was 4% and it's 7% now, that 3%, it takes somebody from a $400,000 price range to a $320,000, right? But you know what? With an ARM, they can still buy a $400,000 home. And I'm telling you right now, mentally, there's nothing like looking at $1 million homes, and then you go, oh, but you're pre-approved to 800. And then you go look at $750,000 homes, and you're like, oh, right? It's all relative, right? Mentally. So you're looking 400, and then all of a sudden you're looking at 300, 320. You're going to be disappointed. That's why they're priced lower. So the fact of the matter is, I love the 5-year ARM. I just had a mortgage company that I really respect that sponsors a lot of our stuff, who came out with a really good video on why the ARM is now, it's very relevant in today's market. So I love that. Labor Day. Here's the other thing is, I asked you before we came on, I go, Pauly, on a scale of 0 to 10, like how ritualized are you? Like 0 means you do something different every day, right? And 10 is like almost everything is a ritual, and things are same every day or every 2 weeks or so, right? And what was your answer to that?
9, 10.
Yeah, 9, 10. What is Michael Maher? 9, 10, right? Is there variety? Life happens, right? We're ready for the spontaneous opportunity when it comes, to put it positively. But so what does that do for you in a changing market that you're so ritualized and time blocked and structured? What does that do for you? And just so you know, you're about to preach to a lot of realtors who listen to this, lenders, I'm not talking to you. Lenders, you're great at this. Realtors live the 0 life, which is the variety is the spice of life. I want to do whatever. I have freedom all day, which means they don't do anything all day, right? They're just like, oh, let's go, right? Now, that's not all realtors, but it definitely has that. But what do the top producers do that the average producers don't? They're more structured because they have to be. We're busy. So what does that do for you in a changing market, though?
Right. So what it does is it keeps it keeps me on track. And when things start to change, it makes me feel like it's opportunity.
Ooh.
Right? There is no secret to success. There are systems. Right? And when
Repeat that for the people in the back, Preacher Pauly.
There are no secrets to success. There are systems. And so when you
I was going to drop my mic, but it's already broken from the last time I talked to you.
So when you are running a system and something changes, it's okay. You can pivot. You can do a 1-degree tweak. It's all good. You can find the solution there, and or you know that, okay, this right here has changed. What's the solution to this? How does it fit in my system? And you don't have to recreate the wheel all over again. You solve for that, and then it becomes part of your system that you grow into. It's growth. It's actually growth. I love when I hear things change. I give my presentation. It's the same thing. I know exactly what I'm hitting. I'm hitting those points. They're going to ask me about price. They're going to ask me about market time. They're going to ask me about commission. They're going to ask me about what their net is. They're going to ask me all this. I've got all of that lined up in my presentation. Here we go. I'm going to hit every single disc personality in that right there, and then ask what they have for me as far as questions. Most of the time, they don't have anything, and they're sign whatever it is that I've showed them, right? But I look for and I pray for the change, because those are what I call golden moments. Those are moments that I didn't see, that I didn't think about, that I didn't look. How does it fit into my system? Then I take that in, I put it into my system, and I make it better. It's like rocket fuel.
I'm telling you, that is so much wisdom in so short a time. So we talk a lot about system being an acronym, saving you stress, time, energy, and money. And I love what you said about there is no secret to health, wealth, and happiness, right? There's no secret to success. There's only systems of success. And what are your systems? What is a system? A system is something that you repeat each and every day, right? Or each and every time you do something. And like, that's the power of this. And I love what you said about the 1-degree tweak. Because you have a great system, because you have great rituals and habits in place, you're not going to overhaul what you do. You're just going to make a small tweak to better a habit. We were talking beforehand about like my son Max. My son Max is developing some better habits. He really needs to do these things more regularly, but he's not. But he does do one thing regularly. He puts in his contacts. He wears contacts. And he's really good about putting in his contacts. He always does it when he gets up. So it's like, all right, so that's a good habit that he does every day. Well, what else do we want him to do every day? We want him to brush his teeth. We want him to wash his face, right? And use his face cream. And it's like, okay, so guess what, Max? When you put your contacts in, right afterwards, you're going to brush your teeth. No, don't worry about the face wash right now. But next month, we'll add the face wash. And that's the structure, is we can now habit stack it. When you have good habits, what happens is you have the ability to stack around that habit. Like a good habit would be like stretching. Well, if you have the workout habit, it's pretty easy to work out and then stretch and then drink a protein shake and then do savasana or yoga, right? And it's like you can, all of a sudden, you can start doing these great things back to, so figure out what are you doing on a daily basis that's good, and then stack around it. What I love about what Pauly's doing, he has so many good habits for his database and for his community that it's really easy for him when it changes, because all that changes are the conversations. The good habit is the conversation. Do you have the good habit of being in conversation and two-way conversation with your database? The best do. And just the conversation changes, as it should. Isn't that beautiful? because otherwise you'd be talking about the same stuff all the time and it'd be boring. But that's not what it is. What's changing? The conversations. You just have to have the conversations. I'm telling you, Pauly. So you just got done teaching. By the way, I have to put a plug in for you. Is GenGen Mastermind is Thursday at 7 p.m. 7 at 7 p.m. for my friend Pauly. It doesn't get any better than that. That's 7 p.m. Eastern. Has no reference to 7L, but I got to drop it in there, right? 777. And it's like winning at the casino. Speaking of winning, GenGen Mastermind, you can check it out at gengenmastermind.com. Or join us in the Generosity Generation. It's very easy. Join GenGen.com. That's GenGen, JoinGen.com. Join GenGen, and then we'll talk to you about the GenGen Mastermind. It is free for Generosity Generation members, the largest referral network in the world. We'd love to have you. Please come and join us. Let us know when you register that the Referrals Podcast referred you. And he's leading that mastermind this Thursday. And we have instituted a new free mastermind in GenGen starting this month, which is the REM mastermind, which is real estate mastermind. It's for realtors, lenders, warranty, anybody in the real estate market only. And we're doing the REM mastermind, and Pauly's going to come co-host that with me. And we're going to talk about what we're doing in the changing market to improve referrals, not just actually get referrals, but actually get more, an increase in referrals, and some of the changes around that. He just got through teaching 30 mornings with Angela Gribbins. It's Pauly, the preacher Domenech, and Angela, the angel Gribbins. Does it get any better than that leading 30 mornings? So, you just got done with 30 mornings, and I listened to some of the episodes that you did last month or January, and then the ones that you just did. Your tune and your tone changed this time versus that January class. So what did you learn? What did you discover with this 30 mornings class and the people that were in it?
Well, I love the thing that I love about teaching that class is that I'm actually taking it as well, right?
Ooh.
It's like, it's awesome. It's accountability from myself, right? And so really what I discovered in this one is that things are going to change and it's okay. It's not always going to be the same, but if you run the system, you will grow, but it's going to hit different in different seasons, right? But
that's what I love about this 30 mornings class. You hit it different because they were hitting you differently.
Yeah, because life was hitting me differently as well. So what was going on in my life was I had time to think about my purpose, my why. It was the beginning of the year. This is what are we doing? What is our meaning for being in the class? So I was able to really focus on that and dig deep. And why was I wanting to change? In this particular class, my business has been exploding. And so I already know what my purpose is. In this particular class, it was getting down to the brass tactics of actually just staying on track and doing it to get through the craziness that was going on in this world and the change.
So good.
So the first one hit more emotional as to why are we doing this 30 mornings? Like, what are we doing it for? Where's that deep feeling? And then this one was, this is why 30 mornings works. When things is changing, you've got to fill your cup up so that you can go out into the world and give with generosity and no agenda. You can't do that if you're half empty or half full. So it was super important that we did it this time to fill our cup up so that we can give, so that we can grow without any resentment or feeling like we are giving too much and not getting enough back. Nobody's helping me.
So much.
That was the difference in this one. In this one, I needed to have my cup full every single day to meet these people that are living in fear and still be able to give without an agenda and not feel resentful when giving and not receiving. Because a lot of people right now in this time, if you are watching this in this time, when you reflect back, this is a time where people are in fear and they're trying to hold on to what they got. Not very many people are giving, but still we need to be those people that give so that we can inspire these people to understand that, hey, listen, it's okay. I'm here. Lean on me for the moment. Lean on me. And when it gets better, and when they reflect upon how much they've grown, because they could study the gap and remember when they were struggling and how you were still giving, oh, it's going to be so good because you're going to be the person that they want to tell about their sphere to because you are giving with so much generosity then. And when they give your name, they're going to be giving their friends and people that they love something special.
I'm telling you, I absolutely love that. And so much, I mean, so much to unpack from that. I mean, and what a great teacher you are to have identified the problems of the 30 mornings class, changed your tune and teaching method. Both you and Angela did it. Like, I mean, pros, like certified mornings coaches. I mean, I think that's like, people just do the drill, right? They'll just teach the morning ritual and here are the, 7 pieces of it. And then there's this mastery level of teaching that you and Angela exhibited that was just, all right, we need to meet them where they are. And then let's help them rise up, right? This whole fear thing. And I have to tell you, GenGen is handling the fear better than I see it a lot less within our community because we have a plan and a system, right? That literally works every day, every week, every month, every year, forever, right? It's great to have that timeless truth to set on. Love, generosity, and appreciation, not going out of style anytime soon, right? But it's about that FEAR acronym that I shared when David Childers was here, and I've been telling the GenGen, and I've been like preaching and teaching this is, fear is an acronym. People say it's like false emotions appearing real, and that it's like false emotions appearing. No, it's not a false emotion. It's a true emotion that kept us alive 10,000 BC when a mammoth was right next to us, right?
Right.
So fear is actually for everyone a reality. It is a reality, right? And you said it perfectly, is we need to reflect and respond. The beautiful thing about being human is when a stimulus or something hits us, we have the ability to think, reflect, and respond to the stimulus, right? Stimulus plus response equals outcome. And it's one of those where, all right, so our response needs to be one of 2 acronyms for fear. Number 1 is forget everything and run, right? If there's a mammoth right next to us about to step on us, forget everything and run, move, right? But you know what? We don't live in 10,000 BC. We live in a pretty damn comfortable, nice environment. So we have another option for our response to fear. And that is, all right, take a deep breath, reflect and respond with fear is face everything and rise. Face everything and rise. Level up your game. Go to the next level. Face everything and rise up. Be the leader in your community, like Pauly's doing. And I'll tell you, this is such a great opportunity to face everything and rise while everybody else is forgetting everything and run. And I'm telling you, I love it. This is just, I mean, pearls of wisdom after, like you say a paragraph and it's 4 sentences that is like a book. Like every sentence could become a book of wisdom. I mean, it's so good. You're preacher, Pauly the preacher Domenech for a reason, man. Everything is so good. Any final words of wisdom for like GenGen or for podcast listeners and viewers who are listening to this as we kind of wind this down?
Absolutely. And so here we are with this fear and face everything and rise. Let's remember this. Please remember this, that The thing that's going to beat fear is faith. Have the faith in the system that is working. It works. It works. Have the faith that leading with love, leading with generosity, leading with compassion, true, authentic effort will always win. If you do not know that their bamboo will be planted in the ground and it will not grow for 5 years. And if the farmer forgets it, it will never grow. But if the farmer always tends to it, nurtures it, because he knows he's planted that seed and he loves on that seed and he fertilizes it and he gives his time to that seed, as soon as it comes out of the ground, within 90 days, it will go 5 stories tall. So when you plant your seed, have that faith. Do not have the fear that your efforts are falling upon false hope. It is not. Be bamboo. You will grow and shoot 5 stories tall. Your net worth is your network. Love on them. Give them and feed them, and they will help you grow.
I'm telling you, that's beautiful. You talked about faith, and it's one of those where, I use an example sometimes when I speak that it's you've got $1 million briefcase with your name on it. Let's say I have this briefcase and I go to the Secret Service and I say, put this on some porch in America. And then I go to you and I say, all right, there is a name on a briefcase. Inside the briefcase is $1 million. It's on some porch in America. I don't know where it's at, but you got to go find it. Go find it. So what would be the typical response of most people when it comes to going to look for the briefcase? They'd look on their porch, they'd go back in and take a nap, right? Or, some of the more resourceful might be like, they might look on the 20 porches around them and then give up. Some would go 100 porches and give up. Or some wouldn't even go out the door. They'd be so overwhelmed with the thought that they wouldn't take any action, right? Or they would go onto social media and say, hey, listen, there's a briefcase that I've lost and it has my name on it. Can you help me find it? Which is fine. That might be your best solution versus you doing all the work yourself, which leads to the army of ambassadors conversation about, do you have 100 people on the streets of your city right now speaking highly of you and referring you? And if the answer is no, you need GenGen, right? You need the 7L system. But it's like, all right, so social media, you could post ads maybe. You could use direct mail campaigns. You could email everybody you know. You could make phone calls to different people. And the thing is what's the likelihood of you finding that briefcase, right? And the answer is not likely. Some do find it, right? They do find it eventually because they keep going for 5 years, right? But let me ask you this. What if I gave you a map and a GPS to find your $1 million briefcase? How much faster and more confident would you be looking for that $1 million briefcase? Here's what you do. Let's say it's in Boston, Massachusetts, and you're in 30A. You would drive all night to get that $1 million briefcase. You'd be so worried somebody else is taking it. Oh, urgency comes out in your world. Here's the other thing. If you were on the highway and there was construction, there was a detour, would you just turn around and go back home? No, you would freaking find the way. You'd either drive through the bridge that is out, right, or around. Don't tell me you've never done that, Pauly Domenech, right? And or you would find a way to the highway, and then you would keep going. And if there was traffic in Boston, you wouldn't be sitting there cussing traffic. You'd be going through traffic, and you'd just go through the masses, but you knew where your $1 million briefcase was. Here's the difference, right? What's the difference between the first case where you're kind of wandering, which is like most business owners, versus the second? You had a map, and you had a system. The map matters. The system matters. That's what I love about 7L system. We have 2 52-week plans for your database that's literally broken down week by week what to do to maximize your referrals. What's the difference? You hit it on the head, Pauly. It's hope versus faith. In the first case, you were hoping to find $1 million. Most people hope to inherit $1 million or hope to win the lottery. They never get either. But the ones with a system, they have faith. Like if you took all the money away from a millionaire, how fast would they get it back?
Right back.
They get it right back. Why? Because they have a system and they have the faith and confidence. It's faith over fear. You hit it on the head. Pauly, you drive this out of me, dude.
I'm telling you, I got you.
I'm just telling you. It's
one
like,
more thing that I love about this, the whole 7L system and everything that we've got going on, and that is, number one, we've got the map. Guys, there is a map. But here's the thing. That map is useless unless you open it up and you put yourself on that map. Mm-hmm. You got to know where you're at when you're coming in and you're picking up this map so that it can work. If you do not do the work to find out where you're at, where you're living, where you are at, by picking up that map, it's not going to work because you won't know what direction to go. Mm-hmm. So come prepared with your database, come prepared with your sphere, your top 100 people, come prepared so that when you receive this map, you can get to your goal of 1 million, 2 million. It doesn't matter.
400 million in 5 years, brother. Right? Pauly Domenech, 400 million at 30A in 5 years. I'm
5 years, 2027.
Let's go.
400 million, 1 year. I've got a plan. I've got the map. I've talked about the system.
Let's freaking go. Let's go. Let's go.
It's going.
Let's go. I'm telling you. All right. With that note, we got to wind this puppy up, dude. I'm telling you, if you're a listener or viewer of this and you're not on fire right now, check your freaking heartbeat because this was off the charts fun. This was so good. Pauly Domenech, thank you once again for being our guest here on Referrals Podcast. Love you, man.
No doubt. I love you too. Always remember to be kind, remain savage, and change lives.
Booyah, right? And here's the thing. He is hosting the GenGen Mastermind with Angela Gribbins this Thursday at 7 p.m. Yeah, we do a nightly night mastermind every month. 7 at 7 p.m. Eastern. Check it out in the joingengen.com group and also gengenmastermind.com to register. And then also you got to check out Referral Mastery Summit. He's one of the speakers. I'll be there hosting the event and doing the general sessions. And I will tell you, you will walk out with your own personal map. Your personal map. We're going to help you create your fourth quarter map and your 2023 map at this event. We're going to focus on the fourth quarter first, and then we'll have your yearly map. Once you do the fourth quarter, it's going to be very easy to do the next year because it's very similar in nature. So check it out at rms22.com. I know we've already got 100 some tickets sold. We only have 250 seats. We're at the B Resort and Spa in Orlando, Florida. Take your kids to Disney on the weekend, and I'm telling you, it's going to be an awesome event. It's Back to the Future. It's 80s themed, right? You might actually see me in a letter jacket, my letter jacket, and if I can fit into my own 1987 letter jacket, I'm telling you right now, that would be a miracle in itself, and I may even get naked. What? Yeah, I'm telling you, who knows what's going to happen at RMS22. Check it out at referralmasterysummit.com or rms22.com. We will see you next time on the next episode. Oh my God, you got to come for the next episode. I just remembered who we're having. You have got to make our next episode 251 of Referrals Podcast. We'll see you then. I love you. We'll see you in the joingengen.com group, and have a great one. We'll see you next time.